Listen, this is my face. Look at my face very carefully. I think I'm living in a science fiction movie, and the reason I'm saying that is that, you know, New York City has a certain rhythm to it. It's sort of like ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. And now you start the day off today, and that doesn't have that rhythm. I mean, it's just, there's some people on the street and there's some traffic and everything, but it's like everybody's going in slow motion. There's certainly no subway, no buses, no trains, no planes, no restaurants, no this, no that. So people might say to you, oh, well, I've seen people on the streets of New York. Yeah, but we normally have 8.5 million people on the streets of New York. Maybe today, and this is just a wild guess, we have like 500,000. So it's really weird. There certainly has been nothing like this in my lifetime. The only thing I could compare it to would be the day of the World Trade Center, you know, another strange day. But this is really a weird day in New York.
Peter, I'm fascinated by what you say there. You say you've never seen anything like this because, you know, we know that the east coast of the United States generally gets severe weather. But you say you've never seen anything like this. Yeah,
well, I mean, never in New York City. I mean, in other words, this is Key West. This is the Gulf of Mexico. This is not New York City. New York City doesn't get this type of severe weather, and when it does, we handle it in a way that we can because it's brick and steel and concrete, and we have the resources, the police. You know, this is not New Orleans. So when I say I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime, this is the only, well, the second time, because I'm counting the World Trade Center, that I've ever seen the whole tone, the whole rhythm of New York City just go flying out the door. And so today, you have a day in which, I mean, it's like a holiday almost, except for the people who are going to be hurt in some way. Because remember, the storm hasn't actually hit yet. Right now, this has all been Act 1. Everybody now is waiting anxiously to see what's going to happen in Act 2.
Yeah. Do you think there has been any overreaction by the authorities?
Even if there is, everybody's taking it in good nature because, you know, genetically, New Yorkers are very cynical people. But, you know, so you're going to say, well, Mayor Bloomberg shouldn't have done this and the weather guy shouldn't have said that. It's all a possibility, but I guarantee you tomorrow morning, if it turns out that this whole thing has been a bust and it isn't really such a big deal as far as New York is concerned, they're not going to lynch the mayor and tar and feather the weather guy. People will say, well, listen, they had to take a guess. They took the right guess because look what could happen. Remember, they're talking about waves of water 11 feet tall. New York City is at sea level. I mean, you just can't take that kind of chance. I mean, if you had the subways filled, you could literally knock off 1 million people in one shot who would drown. So now, you know, they had to do it. It's a big joke tomorrow. Guys like Letterman and Leno will be making jokes about it. But most New Yorkers realize that what they've done so far was very commendable.
Peter, just a very final quick thought. What are you going to do for the rest of the day?
Well, I, like everybody else, is going to anxiously watch what's going on. Now, the last time we had a hurricane, I went out to the beach to see it. And, of course, I've never heard the end of that from my wife as to how crazy I was, you know, to do that. And this morning, I figured before she got up, I would sneak out and go to the beach again. Unfortunately, as much as I love her, she got up. So I'm not going to be able to go to the beach. Otherwise, I could have given you a report from the beach. But no, I'll just hang around, watch some television, walk a little bit in the neighborhood, but being very, very careful because, you know, everything's starting to fly off the buildings. And most of people in the United States live in, you know, houses. We're all living in apartment houses here.